Hello, today I'm going to show you how to validate your research with Shepards on Lexis Plus. My name is Cheryl Clark, and I'm a practice area consultant based in the Kansas City metropolitan area. I've been with Lexis for over 20 years, working with law schools and law firms in Kansas and Missouri. Prior to joining Lexis, I worked in the legal department of a leading global engineering company and as a research librarian in a large law firm. Once you find a case or code section that's relevant to your research, it's important to validate that authority to make sure that the authority that you're relying on has not been reversed or overruled. You will do that on Lexis Plus by Shepardizing any authority that you plan to use in your research. Shepards has been the market-leading citator for almost 150 years. With case law, Shepards will show you the history of the case and tell you what cases and other sources have cited to your case. It will also tell you how those cases have treated your case. Did they agree with the ruling in your case, overrule a point of law in your case, or distinguish themselves from your case? On any case law cite list, you'll see Shepards signals next to each case name. For example, let's search for non-competition or non-compete or covenant not to compete in cases, federal and state cases in Ohio. The Shepards signals alert you to the way subsequent decisions have analyzed or treated points of law within your case. The signal has been assigned by an attorney editor at Shepards and is a signal representing the most negative treatment that has been applied to your case. Let's take a closer look at the Bretlinger case. The Bretlinger case has a yellow caution Shepards signal, and this means that the case has possible negative treatment, usually indicating that the decision has been criticized or distinguished. We'll review all of the Shepards signals shortly. If we look to the right of the case, we'll see a Shepards preview, in other words, a preview of the Shepards report. This case has been cited in 51 cases, and 4 cases have provided a cautionary analysis to one or more points of law within the case. Other citing decisions have applied a positive, neutral, or cited by analysis. We can understand why the case received this yellow caution signal very quickly by clicking the Y next to the Shepards signal on the right. This lists the citing case that has the strongest influence on the overall Shepards signal of the Bretlinger case. Let's Shepardize the Bretlinger case. It's very easy to use Shepards. Just click the Shepards signal, or access the Shepards tabs above the case, or click Shepardize Document. The Shepards report contains separate sections for citing decisions. The Citing Decisions tab lists all the cases that have cited to the Bretlinger case. These will be listed by court and then by date. Other citing sources, citing law reviews, treatises, and other documents. History, prior and subsequent history. And table of authorities. This retrieves a list of cases that this case relied upon. To determine if a point of law within a case is still valid, you'll need to use Shepards to check the citing decisions to see how other cases have treated your case. You will also want to review the subsequent history of your case, which indicates whether your case was appealed and later overturned or affirmed. Let's talk more about Shepards signals. There are 6 different Shepards signals for cases and 1 for statutes. To review the signals and their meaning, click the Legend button above the list of citing decisions. Red indicates warning, strong negative history or treatment of the case. For example, overruled or reversed. Using Shepards, you'll need to determine whether the negative analysis applies to the point of law that you are researching. Orange indicates that a ruling in the case has been questioned. It is still technically good law, but the courts have questioned whether the precedent should stand. Yellow indicates caution, that the case has possible negative treatment, usually indicating that the decision has been criticized or distinguished. Green indicates that the citing references contain history or treatment that has a positive impact on the case, meaning it has been routinely followed or affirmed. The blue A Shepherd signal means that citing references contain treatment of the case in a neutral manner, neither positive nor negative, for example, explained. And the blue I Shepherd signal indicates citing references are merely citing the case with no analysis. Let's close the legend and return to citing decisions. We know that this yellow caution signal on the Bretlinger case indicates that the case has possible negative treatment and that the validity of this case has been criticized or distinguished. To determine whether the analysis applies to the point of law you are researching, on the citing decisions, look to the left of the Shepards report and open analysis. You can see that there are 4 cases that have provided a cautionary, possibly negative analysis of the case. Just like when searching throughout Lexis Plus, the left column can be used to narrow the results. For example, to narrow your report to see only those 4 cases, click Caution. You'll want to read those decisions to determine the effect on validity. You may be researching only one main holding from your case. Validating your case using Shepards will give you the information you need to determine if the holding is still valid. The court filter can be easily used to find the Ohio decisions that cite to this case. You can also continue to narrow by using the search box and typing in legitimate, business, interest. And then you'll find Ohio decisions that cite to the Bretlinger case and also use the phrase legitimate, business, interest. You can also use the Shepards report to expand your research and find additional cases you might want to use to support your legal arguments. If you believe the court should follow the precedent in the Bretlinger case, you can make that a stronger argument by citing other cases that follow the decision. To find those cases, simply open Analysis and click Positive. Now, some of you may be visual learners. There's a Shepards option for that, and it's the Shepards Grid. The Shepards Grid is the graphical representation of the citing decisions in the Shepards report. It's how your case has been treated by different courts and over time, and provides 2 separate graphs. In the court view, I'm able to see how cases in individual jurisdictions treated my case. In date view, I see how that treatment has varied or changed over time. Next, as previously discussed, you also need to validate the case by making sure that the appellate history of the case does not contain any negative analysis. Let's click History. Appellate history is a litigation chain of the case you're validating, including prior and subsequent cases. We see that there is no appellate history for the Bretlinger case, but it is important to understand that subsequent decisions are important to review because they can affirm, invalidate, or reverse the case that you are validating. Today you've learned how to validate your research with Shepards on Lexis Plus. If you want to learn more or need research assistance, reach out to your dedicated Lexis rep to schedule a training session or contact Lexis customer support for research assistance 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 1-800-45-LEXIS.